We didn't make a special story out of this part because it was kind of interesting. We made a special story out of the first half of the conversation with your whole "I'm joining the CIA" thing. I don't know about that story, Troy. I mean, it happened, but I'm like, Troy, you really realized what was going on there. But we need to go back
I
and
still
look
can't
at.
make sense of that stupid
Oh, I
shit.
think I've made perfect sense out of it. It involves Budweiser and Jack Daniels. You don't even have gabapentin as an excuse for that one.
Cocaine. Just kidding.
Again, that definitely would have been clear if that was going because you would have been up for days, so now
I'm
you can
I'm
rest them.
kidding. Kidding,
Okay,
kids.
right. So, but my point being, we got it figured out. I think to some, or we're hot on this trail. We have a legitimate trail here to follow. Whether it's it, who knows? Troy, you need to find out for yourself, regardless of what anybody else tells you. But you need to take maybe if you want to. I mean, you don't need to do anything. If you want, take what I've suggested, and mention it to your doctor. But I'll just say right now, if you've been getting blood tests, even if you didn't mention this to them that you're loopy, you would have been loopy and it wouldn't have shown up in your blood. But if you had a liver problem that was giving you HE, it would have shown up in your blood. So that even points
Exactly.
more. That points more towards gabapentin.
Yeah, and so yesterday I was getting a little bit freaked out. Like, whoa, what if it is my liver? What if I, all
Right.
this what if,
Right.
disaster, disaster.
Right. And
So I finally looked up gabapentin and I'm like, hey, I think this is the problem.
it is. It all began with the whole. At the same time, the United States government passed the fraudulent stuff to pass OxyContin to be legal when they had the fraudulent report saying it wasn't addicting. At the same time, the
Now,
United
I
States.
think
But there was a
one of the
double
biggest
whammy.
problems in the United States is pharmaceuticals. We're also medicated here. It's sickening.
And
That's a
the
whole
FDA
nother day
says
of talking.
the 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 American Medical Association, I believe, don't quote me on this, is about the same time. I've talked about this now for decades. At the same time that happened, they came out with that. How does your pain feel on a scale of 1 to 10? How many people ever said
Yeah.
three?
How I've
Right?
never known how to answer that.
Right, and eight or above was oxy. So they started just giving it out like crazy. So those two things, that double whammy right there, but they still asked the other one. And so the reason they're not taking you off your gabapentin is because whenever you say, does your sciatic nerve pain hurt? If it has it all, you're going to say yes. And then they're going to say, okay, stay on the current medication. They're not going to be like, they're not going to dig down on that because they don't want anybody to come back and say anything, like a lawsuit. And if you're not experiencing pain, keep doing what you're doing. But it sounds like you're doing too much of whatever that is because it's making you otherwise cognitively less than, so to speak. So I'm not talking, you know what I mean? It's making it cloudy.
Yeah. Yeah,
To the point,
exactly.
recently, the day you called and said you'd forgotten to take your meds. And I was like, you what? You'd forgotten them like 2 days in a row. And I was like,
Three, it was 3 or 4.
yeah, I've missed,
Which
I
included the
mean,
gabapentin. I wasn't taking anything. But I
yeah,
think my
no,
head was so foggy at that point, I
yeah.
was just like, well,
Yeah, and
let's
there's
see
nothing
what
else going
happens.
on. You don't do the CBDs or the THC tincture or any of those kind of things at all. So
Well,
there's nothing else in that going. Obviously, drinking isn't in the picture. That hasn't been a picture. That thing's long gone. But yeah, so that's it, man. The only thing you're doing other than that's coffee, and that would not make you cloudy.
coffee and
Like
water. Mostly just
just
water.
Colombian